Welcome to 123 Minimize with Jody and Linnea, the podcast where we discuss easy minimalism for busy moms. Whether you're a new mom in need of practical decluttering tips or an experienced parent seeking simplified routines, you've come to the right place. I'm Jody, wife and full-time working mom of 4. In 2017, I founded the Minimalist Mom Facebook group, now with over 270,000 members. My passion is creating a simple, healthy, and happy home where my family can thrive.
I'm Linnea, a homeschooling mom of 4. In 2021, my family and I sold our house, downsized to a 36-foot travel trailer RV, and embraced minimalism. Living with less has been liberating, and I'm thrilled to share tips and experiences to help you simplify your life. Whether you're sitting down, getting stuff done, or lacing up your walking shoes, welcome to the 123 Minimize podcast.
In today's episode, we're going to be talking about minimalism and your health. A lot of people turn to minimalism to reduce their stress.
Yeah.
And to just bring more mindful and healthy routines into their life.
Mm-hmm.
So healthy in body, mind, and spirit, across the board. So people all have their different reasons why they would come into this and be inspired by minimalism.
Right. Well, and in our Facebook group, the Minimalist Mom, that's the number one thing that we see people coming to our group for, is that they want to start the minimalist journey so that they can reduce stress and anxiety in their life.
Right. A lot of people, their first post will be, I'm overwhelmed. Mm-hmm. My home is stressful. Mm-hmm. I can't keep up with it all.
Right. I feel like help. I clean all day long.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Because the less time you clean, the more time you get to spend with your family.
Yeah.
So, of course, the cleaning part would go into episode where we talked about your home.
Yep.
So now we're going to focus on health.
Yeah.
In our daily challenges on our Facebook page and our Facebook group, we schedule in rest days because even with having a really productive week, I think it's important to your body to have a rest day.
Yeah.
That could fall on whatever day works best for you.
Yeah.
We pick Saturdays because a lot of times people have maybe more social activities to do on Sunday or after a long week, maybe you just need a break. Mm-hmm. And I've also found that Saturdays are so busy. Like if I want to go to something with my family, like an apple orchard or a water park, it's so busy on Saturday that I'd almost rather stay home on Saturday and go on Sunday.
Yeah.
Or go on Friday or whatever. So I have just found that Saturday is a really nice time to hang out at home. Mm-hmm. Maybe have somebody over if that's low stress, do a puzzle, go on a nature walk, explore some nature area that we haven't done before, a bike ride, and just really try to connect after the long week. Mm-hmm. So last week we talked about minimalism and finances. And so sometimes people think, well, I don't have money to put towards my health. I know that I definitely had that perspective in the beginning, like, oh, I have to join a gym and I have to do this and that. But there are free things that you can do to get started on your health journey. Going on a walk, drinking enough water.
Yes.
Taking some time to sit in silence with your own thoughts. Especially if my mind is going a mile a minute.
Yes.
Sometimes just to have silence.
Breathing.
Yeah. Taking some deep breaths.
Well, and I mean, when we're really stressed and have a high level of stress sustained over a long period of time, your cortisol levels are raised. And when your cortisol levels are raised for a long period of time, it can have a lot of adverse health effects.
Yes.
I mean, you can just Google it, but there's a ton of stuff.
I know for me, the inability to take on more unexpected things gets harder. When I've been in that fight or flight for a while.
Yes.
Then when one little thing happens, it's like, oh my goodness, nothing's working. And really, if I was in a restful state, I would have been like, oh, we can be flexible with that.
Right.
So I know it puts me in a place where I'm not the wife and mother and friend that I want to be.
That's right.
So when my stress level's reduced and my schedule's a little bit reduced, and I have space to care for myself, I'm just a better person. I'm happier.
Right.
And I respond to the people in my home in a way that I want to. And when I go to bed at night, I'm like, I am happy with how today went.
Yeah.
And when I'm on the edge, like just pushed to the max and my health is not going well, or I've had just a physically really hard week and my stress levels are high, I fall asleep at night feeling, I wish I, had more patience, or I wish that I just like hung out with my kids more.
Right.
I worked so hard today and I hardly saw them.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff, like kind of regret.
Yep.
And I wouldn't say that ever I necessarily act in a way that's harmful to my family. Like being short-tempered with them is more being like, okay, I can't do that right now.
Yeah.
Right? And then I fall asleep going, oh, I wish I had said yes to everything they wanted.
Yeah.
Everything.
Right.
But when I'm so worn out, it might be like, I need to go take a bath. I'm going to go do something else right now.
Right.
But I do feel a level of mom guilt. And then I wish that I had kind of been more consistent with my self-care so I didn't hit a wall.
Right. Right. Well, and so just finding those things that you can do to lower those cortisol levels so that your health can improve. How this relates to minimalism is just that if you have so many things in your home that you are constantly cleaning, or maybe your family has so many things that you're tripping over stuff, or you can't find things when you need them, or things aren't being taken care of, or you don't like the way it looks. Maybe it's just visual clutter.
Yep.
And it's hard to even feel peaceful in a room when you have visual clutter.
Yep.
And also, it relates to finances, just like we talked about last week. But if you are stressed about your finances, and part of the problem is that you are spending too much on things, then minimalism can really help in all those areas to reduce that. And maybe the reason you're stressed about cleaning all the time is because what you really want is to spend more quality time with your kids. Like you said, wanting to say yes if they come and wanting you to read a book or play a game with them or take them to the park, things like that.
Right.
And if you still have a pile of dishes, or, you feel like you can't stop for a moment because you're overwhelmed with cleaning, then that's just going to affect your motherhood so much.
Yep.
Like you said, that mom guilt can really come in to get you,
Yeah. So some other things that are free that you can do to increase your self-care is to get a little bit of sunshine.
Yeah.
That can be hard in the winter, but even sitting in a sunny window inside, practicing gratitude.
Yeah.
Writing down maybe 3 things a day that you're grateful for, or just thinking about it. I totally get that sometimes as a mom, you do not have time to write down 3 things.
Right.
I get it. So as you're falling asleep, thinking about the 3 things. I know when my kids were really little, like babies, and I was more sleep deprived, I remember thinking, I lay down and fall asleep, and I fall asleep immediately, and I didn't have time to kind of think through my day.
Right.
And I remember missing that. And then when they got a little older, I could lay there and I was so grateful to not fall asleep immediately.
Yeah.
Which means I was just a little bit more caught up on sleep so that I could lay there and kind of process my day.
Right. We like to actually go around as a family. Sometimes when I'm tucking the kids in.
Oh, that's nice.
What are you thankful for today? Or what are you thankful for that happened today?
Yeah.
Or, just to help them end their day as well with thankfulness. And I appreciate that as a family. That's just a really nice way to end the day.
Yeah. We also like to go on nature walks, or if it's the morning before our work, which has to be pretty early, and now it's dark later, but I call them bird walks because in the morning we see very rare birds to us. Like not the normal birds you see everywhere, but something very large or different that I don't come across all the time.
That's neat.
And that can be fun because nobody's out yet. And so the birds are out a little bit more, and we live by a lot of water. And so you get more unique birds. Cool. So bird walks or nature walks. And also exercise, even like a dance party with your kids, or we have a tiny rebounder trampoline. So maybe taking turns jumping on that can be fun. And just laughing with your kids can be something that it doesn't cost. And it's free and it's fun, and it's supposed to be amazing for your endorphins.
Right. Well, and finding ways to get those endorphins, I think, will also really help with reducing cortisol levels and relaxing. So hugging, petting a dog, like you said, nature.
Yeah. And you've mentioned you like to watch or listen to stand-up comedians with your spouse. Yeah. That can be fun. We've gone to see, Jim Gaffigan in a concert before.
Oh, man.
That was fun.
That's fun.
He's a funny one.
Yep.
Brian Regan is
Brian
funny.
Regan, yeah.
So you can find all these for free.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
Some of them are in streaming, but some of them are just on YouTube.
Yep.
And that can be a great like at home date night, or like splurging and going to a show, which was really fun, which we don't do a lot. And we could laugh and it felt like, you know, we get out of the house a little bit and gone on a date.
Yeah.
So I also find that it's a good idea to keep some lists. So when I first thought about self-care, I wrote down a list of everything I could think of that brought me self-care, not something that brought someone else self-care, because that it might not be the same.
Yeah.
Right? And it was actually really hard to think of things, like 30 things, because self-care was not something that I was necessarily practicing or good at. And so the idea of it felt really selfish. But once I got the list going, it helped me understand what filled up my cup.
Sure.
It might be different than somebody else.
Yeah.
And so that way, if I was feeling a little bit worn down, I could just go through my list. And a lot of them were things that were free and easy at this stage in my life. Mm-hmm. So I also keep some lists of reminders for myself. So if I feel like my mind is going in circles and I can't really organize my thoughts and I feel really overwhelmed with something, I like to write stuff down just to start sorting it out.
Yeah.
And that way I can kind of see, it gets all the words in my brain out on paper and I can see where the problem is.
Yeah.
Or possibly it's not really a problem and I'm just overreacting in my mind by going in circles.
Right.
Or finding out like what the base problem is that's going on.
Yeah.
Like an example is I was feeling really stressed out about a decision we had to make. And I realized that I was feeling stressed out because there was some fear involved with the decision.
Sure.
And so underneath it, I found that what was I afraid of? And then we could sort that out. And I realized that the emotions toward the decision weren't necessarily logical. And so it made me feel a lot better. And writing it out really helps me to organize. Wow. But I know everybody has different processes that work for their brains. Yeah. So it is really about finding what your problem-solving process is.
Yeah.
Another one is when I've been tired. You know, laying down a little bit is a great idea. Taking a nap, even if it's a 10, 20-minute nap. When I had little kids and I could not go nap. They were not napping at that time. Or I had a baby napping and then older toddlers and they couldn't be alone. I would actually lay on the floor with my legs up on the wall. I read in a magazine at one point that was like supposed to help your body get a break. And I would feel a lot better after 20 minutes. For some reason, it made a big difference from laying like on the couch. Also, the kids, then they would think we were doing something fun. It wasn't just mom laying on the couch. They would do it too. They'd crawl around the floor, walk around the floor, bring me toys. Yeah. It was something different that kept them engaging with me instead of like, oh, where are the kids? Yeah. So but laying down, you know, not just pumping the coffee and being busy all day. Yeah. I feel like I would pay for that. Back then, you know, too much caffeine, it would just be difficult. So keeping lists like this of reminders to yourself, like, oh, I'm tired, I'm going to lay down, even if it's on the floor. Oh, I'm sad, I'm going to jump around a little bit. Yeah. It's really hard to stay sad with exercising. Of course, there's situations where people need therapy and need medical help, and I'm not wanting to downplay that at all. Postpartum depression is a very important and difficult thing that I've dealt with, and for that, this kind of stuff wouldn't necessarily work. I'm talking about just where you're a little down for a little bit. Like it's a new thing. You feel like you could shake it off, but you're just really feeling it that day. Yeah. And for me, just like running around the living room, running up and down the stairs, or jumping around with the kids, putting on some music, it can sometimes shake it. It's definitely something that I would try first in the moment. And of course, if there's anything underlying and bigger, by all means, please see your care provider. When I'm stressed, going on a walk can help. Going on a walk with little kids that are saying it's too far, or they want to do it, is hard. Yeah. If you can possibly go on a walk by yourself, I know that can be almost impossible sometimes. I went over a decade with not being able to do anything without kids, so I get it. But there is something that is very stress relieving to go on a walk by yourself, if it's possible. It's really great for helping you organize your thoughts, clearing your brain, and reducing stress. So highly recommend it if it's something that you can pull off. Maybe if you're at work, the kids are at school and childcare, a quick lunch break walk, even 10 minutes by myself, I have found makes a huge difference to my day. The lady who invented EMDR talked about that she discovered it from eye movements when you're on a walk. It's rapid eye movement stuff where they make your eyes, and you talk about the bad stuff in your life and you do these movements with your eyes, but it's the same movements as when you're walking and you're kind of like surveying, but you're not really looking at anything because you're not seeing tons of people and risk. So it's nature walk.
Or you could just go on a walk.
Or you can just go on a walk. Another one, if I'm feeling lazy and kind of lacking motivation in my life, turning off all screens, putting my phone away. Sometimes you might feel lazy because you're actually just tired. Mm-hmm. You need to sleep. You need to rest your eyes. You need a break. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, I can speak for myself, I might feel lazy because I really just want to lay on the couch and scroll on my phone for a while or binge watch a show. So maybe laying on the couch and scrolling on my phone doesn't fit with the goals that I have for my year. And so putting that away can sometimes help me gain that motivation I needed again. Mm-hmm. And also sometimes it's okay to lay around, right? Because that can go back to self-care. Sometimes we just need to zone out for a while, and that's fine too.
Oh, yeah. Well, another thing with minimalism is that in the beginning, maybe you're only here because you want to declutter your house. Mm-hmm. But over time, you might discover the benefit of incorporating minimalism into everything you do. Mm-hmm. Like being minimal with your calendar. Mm-hmm. Or whatever it is that matches the goals you have for your life, for your family life, for your personal life. And if you are struggling with stress and anxiety, it might be from all the clutter, probably is a contributing factor. And yes, your life will get better as you declutter and as that amount of time that you need to clean is cut down. But it also can apply to things like your schedule. Minimalism can be a mindset that can be a part of every area of your life.
This is a great time to mention our upcoming decluttering event. In January 2024, we will be holding a 4-week Facebook event that has been designed to help you reach your minimalist goals. We will provide you with all the tools and the structure that you need to be successful. In this event, you will receive an over 70-page workbook, a private Facebook group for connection and accountability. We'll also provide you with guidance through daily tasks, tips, prizes, and coaching. Registration is now open at our website, and we would love to have you join us. And that's a wrap for today's episode about health and minimalism. We hope you enjoyed this topic and found a few tips that might help on your journey.
We want to extend a heartfelt thank you to our amazing listeners for tuning in. Your support and curiosity are what keeps us going. For more tools and resources to help you on your journey toward a simpler life, visit our website, www.123minimize.com. If you found today's episode valuable, don't forget to subscribe to this podcast so you never miss an opportunity to explore new ideas and perspectives. And if you're inclined, leave us a review, which helps to spread the word to others who might enjoy the journey too. As always, feel free to connect with us on Facebook or Instagram to share your thoughts, suggestions, or just to say hi. Until next time, stay motivated. Take care.